Flosstube, it's Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche. I'm back for an update video. Today is Sunday, September 18th, and it's only been 1 week since my last video. But I had some time and some fun stuff to share, so I decided to just do a quick video this week. I've got some finishes and some plans to share with you today. Nothing major has happened since the last video, so no major life updates other than we're just enjoying the cooler weather. Classes are great. Starting to get the house a little more organized. Haven't done much in the craft room, but someone did ask that I show pictures of my craft room. It's a mess, but I'll insert a couple of pictures here so you can see the way I have the table set up that I picked up from IKEA. This may not be the final arrangement once I kind of get everything settled. I may move things around, but at least you can see kind of the craziness that I've got set up. I'm hoping to store some stuff underneath the higher table. You're sitting on the higher table right now. I want to get some of the cabinets that you can get at IKEA, sort of like the drawers that I have already, that I can put some things in. So I'm not sure. Things will probably change. Last week was pretty rough. Sally was sick. We had to take her to the vet on Friday, but she's doing better now. She has allergies really bad and they just flare, and she scratches her ears a lot. So we were up Thursday night. What was it? Wednesday night and Thursday night. It's like having a toddler. Wednesday night particularly, she just kept waking me up and wanting me to hold her. So, which I did. My students on Thursday, I said, you guys are just going to have to deal with me. I was up all night with a sick puppy, so, which they were fine. We all made it. So why don't we get into the stitching for this week? Okay, so I did not have any fully finished objects this week. I haven't sat down long enough to do anything that finishing, but I did have some finishes. So I finished cross-stitching some patterns. I showed this on my last video. I was working on the cat, so I did get that thread that I was missing, and I finished the three with the I finished these two with the cats, and then this one. I'd finished this previously, and it's in the stack of things to be finished. I don't know where it is right now. But I think I'm going to finish them maybe just like the designer. Make this a little bag, 2 little pin. Let's see if I can do this. 2 pin pillows. And then if I could find a little tiny frame, that would be so cute. So here are the finishes. They're stitched on 36 count or 40 count. I'm not sure. It's just scrap fabric. So this one is so adorable. Just stitched up super fast. And then the last one that I stitched was the little pumpkin-headed lady. I might go to some thrift stores and see if I can find some small frames. And then that last one. So those were my finishes. And that's all I finished this week. All right, so my whips that I've worked on this week really I've only worked on one other project besides the Cats and Jacks from Pineberry Lane, and that is one of the Patreon charts from last month from Teresa Kogut. And I got a lot done on this one. So the last time I showed it to you, I had pretty much everything at the top, but I didn't have all of the words here or this side border, so I finished that. And then I went to this is page 1 and page 1 and page 2. And then down here is page 3. So I finished all of the border here and then added the broomstick and then hallow. So I've been working on that. And this is just a fun stitch. I'm using the called for threads for the most part. I'm substituting on one of the orange colors and then the green. I'm substituting Victoria Motto that matches almost exactly what the called for is. And this is stitched on a piece of 36 count Victorian motto that I got when I was in the Fabric of the Month Club. And I'll insert a picture of what the finished piece should look like. It's so pretty. And I'm going to continue stitching on that. That's my primary whip that I'm working on. But I will stitch on a few things. I do this thing, I call it Stitch Episode, where depending on, there's certain floss tubes that I watch, you know, all the time. And so I'm going to stitch on Thomas from Not Forgotten Farms today, because I have at least one video from Seazook Stitch to watch. And then I also will work on the, what is it, Tree of Life sampler from Brenda Gervais, because I'm going to watch the second sampler September from Saltbox Stitcher. So those are two whips that I plan to work on this week. The other thing, I did start something new. So I have this tendency, and I don't know, you may have this tendency. I see charts on Etsy and I will purchase them and then download them and then forget that I have them. And I decided I'll tell you what happened. I was working on something at my job, and I was trying to save something to my personal computer because I prefer using my personal computer than the computer the school gives me. And it wouldn't save because I'm getting low on disk storage. So I'm like, what's that mean? So I started looking. It's because I have a whole bunch of cross-stitch charts that I need to do something with. So I started going through them and I'm like, I forgot I had this. So I've decided I'm going to start stitching these charts that I've purchased PDFs for and clear them off my computer. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that was on here from my last job at USM. I deleted all of that. There have been, when we revise the textbook, we do multiple versions of each chapter. So there's 29 chapters in one book. There's 20 chapters in the other book. And so we may have like 3 to 5 versions of each of those chapters. And I did not realize that I had not cleared those out from the last 2 editions. So that's like a whole bunch was not cross-stitch. It was textbook stuff. But it did get me looking at those PDFs. So one designer that I found on Etsy that I really like is called Salt and Pepper Stitching. It's Emily Call. And I'll link her shop below. And I'm doing one of her Halloween charts that I purchased, I think this time last year. Maybe not. Maybe I purchased it earlier this year. But I'll put a picture in here of what the final product will look like. Last night I went through my fabrics and I chose a fabric that I thought would work. I like the color that the model is stitched on, but I love to stitch on purple fabric when it's Halloween. So I started that last night, and that's as far as I've gotten. But that's a pretty good start. So you can see the nose and then the cheeks. This is 32 count Whimsy from Picture This Plus. I've had this for a long time. Let's see. My husband bought this for me for Christmas, probably the first year Teresa and I met. So that's 2006. So I've had it that long. But it's going to be pretty. And I hope to work on this. As soon as I finish recording this video, I'm going downstairs and I'm going to stitch on this and those other 2 pieces I was talking about, Thomas and Tree of Life sampler. So that's my stitching for this week, my cross stitching and my plans. So what I'm going to do now is show you a little bit of my quilting and plans for wool applique. Okay, so I am currently working on the Prairie Meadow quilt from Lori Holt. This is a sew along that she's hosting on her blog, Be in My Bonnet. So I bought the kit from Fat Quarter Shop, and I showed my first block last week that I completed, and that I had my second block laid out. So I finished that. So here is my second block. I think this is my favorite of the 2 that I've done so far, but I just love the colors, and it turned out really pretty. I'm really enjoying this. And I've got the third block, which came out last Monday. I've got everything cut out, everything turned. Let's see if I can, you can't see, oh, you just saw a little bit of it right there. That's it laid out. I'll insert a picture here that I have everything almost in place. I have to do all my measuring and making sure it's all in the proper position, and then I will applique that. What I'm doing is working out really well, is that I'm getting everything set up, and then I take the whole week to applique, and then I'm ready to cut out and get everything ready for the next block on Sunday. So I'm really running almost a week behind, but it's okay. I'm getting them done. So excited about that. My other project that I'm doing is a wool applique project that was a 4-part series released by Blackberry Primitives last year. And I did the first 3 when I was still in Mississippi. And then I put the project away and I packed it up and I found it when we unpacked. So I'm almost finished with the last block, and it's right there. So I'll just put a picture in here of what that looks like. And I'm hoping to get that completed over the next week or so. And then my other plans, because I plan probably more than what I can do, but my plans are to start working on this book. So this came out, did it come out last year? 2021. And if you know Michelle Rudy, she is amazing at convincing you to start projects. So she suggested that you purchase the entire kit from her shop, which I did because I always mind Michelle Rudy. And so I have that. And again, it was in storage. And now that I've got it out, I want to work on these. There are 45 ornaments, but they're in sets of 3. So that's 15 weeks. So I think if I start like this week and work on them on Saturday or Friday or Saturday, that maybe I can have most of them done by Christmas. How many weeks do we have till Christmas? October, November. Yeah, 15 weeks. I should be able to do that. So that's one of the things I want to start soon. And I've got it all kitted. And then my last wool applique is another kit, a set of kits that I've started with Teresa. So let me see if I can find the whole kit, the whole quilt. It is from Buttermilk Basin again, and it's the Spooky Spools. And Teresa and I were working on these together. I picked up this set for me when I went to the quilt show in Houston in 2019. And I picked up the first 3 for Teresa, figuring if she didn't like it, then I could do something with them. But she loved it, so she ordered the rest of them. And we would get together and work on these together. So we have, I think we have like 4 done. So there's 1. I have to add the buttons, so they're not perfectly complete, but you get the gist. So yeah, I have 4 of the 12 done. So I've told Teresa we need to start doing Zoom calls and start working on these together. So I need to see if she can Zoom sometime this week or next weekend. Now, I've got everything together. I just need to have time with Teresa because I don't want to do it unless Teresa's with me. So that's my wool quilting applique plans as well. Okay, so that's about it for my crafting for this week. I'm thinking that if I can get into the habit of doing these videos every week, that might work. Usually I do a drawing on each video. I'm not going to do a drawing on this video just to give a little bit longer for my last video. I'll pull the names for those in next week. But if I get into this habit, the schedule is working out really well now for me to do these recordings once a week. Plus it keeps me on track with my quilt blocks because it gives me incentive to get the quilt block finished so I can record my video. Just a couple of other things I wanted to mention. I've been putting in images from the last hike that Hobby and Sally and I went on. We live in an amazing area. We find different parks, different areas to go hiking every time we go out. And this last time we went to Bear Creek Lake Park. That's like a 10-minute drive from our house, and we just enjoyed it. Sally had so much fun, and I wanted to show you, I may have broken the law doing this, but we were out hiking and there was an apple tree, and I picked an apple, and it's the cutest little tiny apple. They're called paradise apples, but isn't that cute? If I broke the law, please don't turn me in. So, but it is just tiny and pretty. We see these in our neighborhood. Several people of our neighbors have apple trees, but nobody was around, so I picked that one. But we've just been having a great time. I saw some new birds that I haven't seen before, and Sally got to smell some smells. Hubby says we go sightseeing, and Sally goes smelling because she's just very interested in all the smells, but it's just beautiful. So those images that you're seeing between each segment are from our last hike. I hope everyone is having a good week. Oh, shop update. I wanted to just mention I am running specials for September. So this week there are several designers that I've discounted their chart. So Plum Street, Carriage House, Kathy Barrick, Hello from Liz Matthews, Jeanette Douglas, and Heartstring Samplery. So you don't need a code. They're already discounted. So when you check out, the discount's applied. So it's 20% off the in-stock charts. So you guys kept me really busy last week, which I love. I love to pack. I know it's weird, but I love to pack packages, get them ready for mail. I got some new little guys, the little mice, and another type of turkey this week. They're so cute. And I think that's it for shop updates. I think that's it. But I hope you are enjoying yourself. Have a good Sunday afternoon, and I hope to see you next week. Thanks.